So welcome, good morning to you all. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name's Dr. Seppe Cassettari, and I'm president of the British Cartographic Society. To all our existing members who are perhaps returning on their annual pilgrimage to the BCS conference, so meet your old colleagues, make some new friends, and for those who've recently joined BCS, this might be your first time experience of our annual conference. And also there are some people from our sister organisations that we've set up partnerships with over the last year, and some people from the wider cartographic and mapping industry, not just here in the UK, but from around the world. So to you all, a very, very big welcome. We are actually on the second day of our overall conference programme. We had a brilliant day yesterday, and I think we've got another fascinating day ahead. And I have to say, it's very exciting to get back together again. I think 2020 was the first time in the 58-year history of the BCS that we haven't managed to have an annual conference. And I, for one, definitely missed it. I know we're here doing this virtually. It was a pretty tough decision to do that, but I'm sure in hindsight it was the right one. So I hope that generally you feel able to use the technology, to use the chat and the Q&A to give out some ideas or ask questions. Or I hope that you'll join our networking event towards the end of the day, so you can at least have a one-to-one or group chat with people. And please don't forget the award ceremony that goes on later on today. We've all had an enormous upheaval and amount of change over the last 18 months or so. And we've all had to reappraise what we do and how we do it. And the BCS is no different. I believe that we managed to step up to that challenge of rethinking the what we do and the how we do it, so that we can make it more relevant to our members in a mapping world that's no doubt seeing a lot of change and will continue to change over the coming years. There have been a number of major initiatives which I would like to draw your attention to as a way of just introducing this conference, but I think it's important that you may have read about some of these, but they are big changes in the way that we are interacting with yourselves and with the wider community. The first of these is that we have started a great level of event interaction with our members. We reinstated the winter lecture series, and that was really excellent last January, December time. And we've also introduced a monthly tea time talk series. And I know from the numbers and the people attending, you've really enjoyed that. Quite often it's been booked out. So if you haven't managed to get in on the ones you're interested in, my apologies, keep trying. I'd like to thank Christopher Boulas for running these. He's done a great job. The second thing I wanted to mention is that we have relaunched our Better Mapping initiative. We're really about trying to drive better quality in the maps and cartography that we see around us, and try to embrace emerging visualization technologies. So Better Mapping has gone, and we have a new program called GeoVis. And if you were one of the 60+ people that went to yesterday's inaugural event, I'm sure you'll agree it was absolutely fascinating. There were some great case studies, and we clearly have so much to learn from each other. Thanks, Paul Naylor, who's our Vice President and Chair Programme, for being the inspiration behind this. The third thing I want to mention is that we are building on our knowledge and expertise in the cartographic world by starting to work with the government geographer. And there is an initiative to develop best practice tools, guides, tips, that sort of thing, to help not only people working in government, but the wider community with better mapping. So a team within BCS is currently working on that. And it's a really exciting opportunity for us as a society, but also to help progress our charitable aims. And then the fourth and last thing is I want to mention is that we have set up a program to partner with sister organisations, those that we have a link to, so we can mutually grow, mutually develop the wider mapping community. We've signed memorandums of understanding with IMIA, the International Map Industry Association, and the Charles Close Society so far. And there are others that other people we're talking to, and others in the pipeline. Thanks to Elaine Watts and the membership committee, especially Alan Grimwade for leading on that. And there's lots of other things going on. They're not the only things, but I just wanted to flag those up. Certainly since I took over as president, and some of you will know it is the second time I've done this, so thank you very much for trusting me with the role. I've really been delighted by the range of people who've come forward to help and support the society. All ages, all backgrounds. We have new council members, we have growing teams for Maplines editorial, for social media, and so on. It's been a really busy year, and we've had to address all these changes because of the pandemic. So thank you all very much for your engagement and your commitment. That's what's driving us forward. So on to today, on to the conference event. There was a hope that we could at least have done part of this conference as an in-person event, but I guess that was never really going to be possible. And so we made the decision earlier in the year that we would put on the best virtual event we could. So this year's conference has spanned 2 days. It's 4 separate meetings. We've had a quiz, we've had a networking little event yesterday, we've got a bigger one today, and we've had something over 240 registrations, which is absolutely excellent. We've certainly learned a lot in putting this together, and we are learning as we go. And I have to say, it would not have been possible without the support of the British Geological Survey. And while I, for one, regret not being able to visit the 3D immersive lab and the map library, it's in no small part their input and support that has allowed this event to happen. So the BCS owes them a big debt of thanks. I'd also just like to say a huge well done to Henry Holbrook from BGS, who's also a BCS council member, and Jennifer Johnson, who runs our Restless Earth programme, but during school lockdown has been able to give time to planning the conference. You guys were thrown a huge curveball at the beginning of the year. And if I continue that American football analogy, you've scored a brilliant touchdown. You've done a great job. Well done indeed. We should give you a big pat on the back for everything you've done. Well done. I hope everyone, old BCS hands and newcomers, enjoy today. It certainly is the first time we've run it this way. Sort of forgive us if we have the odd technical glitch. I'm sure there will be some. There are people about to provide support if you need it. It's certainly more complex than anything we've done before. So what we'd like to know from you is, how well did it work? What did you like? What didn't you like? What could we do differently? All feedback would be really welcome. We've certainly got to make decisions about next year fairly soon. So think about what went well and let us know.